everyone, welcome to Long Arm Wednesday. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. We're working on one of my quilts today. Well, finishing up anyways. This is my Scrappy quilt that I've done up for my eldest niece and her husband. It's over 1,500 pieces in it of 2" by 3". It does have a little bit of a pattern in it where I did some white V here to a point. There we go. And then it works this way. But all in all, I don't think you're really going to see it unless you, see the whole thing. But we'll check it out. So it's just going to finish doing the bottom feather of the last row, doing this last little bit here, and then we're going to do a bit of the border, and then we're going to call it a show, and then I'm going to finish it up. Alrighty. So I'm going to hit the quick start, just like we did for the Quilt of Valor. I had already stitched majority of it before we started filming. So you can just see it finishing up. I thought this would make a great, like, I Spy quilt. There's Winnie the Pooh, and a doggy with a bone, and a bow, and a butterfly, and pumpkins, and teddy bears, and keyboards, you name it. It's pretty much it's all in here. These are all projects that I've worked on. Some of these go back probably about 15 years. So you kind of accumulate a few things. I don't want to throw anything out. I'm a bit of a pack rat when it comes to that. Especially when it comes to fabric. I literally have, when I started this, I had like 2 bins, a light bin and a dark bin that I kept my scraps in. And I think, oh, she's keep put stuff in the scrap bin. It's never gonna So I thought one day I'll just use some of it up. I made a quilt for my mom. It's a diamond shaped one. It kind of goes like a little kaleidoscope. It's got red in the center and then works its way out in the rainbow to black, white, and brown on the outside. It's really pretty. And then the second one I made for me, which had a pattern design, more like a little checkerboard with, with a prominent color throughout on the diagonal. And then I squared it all up with satin and stuff like that. And then this is my third one. So this one was a bit different because it had just putting them together, one right after the other, and hopefully lining it up and trying not to get anything that matched too close together. Like my first one, I wanted all the reds together and all the oranges together and maneuver between the red and the orange on your working your way out, right? So that's why I tried to do a little bit of a pattern with this, with just the white. But yeah, you see, you don't, it's no big deal. But I had a lot of them putting it together. It took a couple weeks. The last little bit, I just plugged away at it because it was so exciting to get it when you're almost at that part. We're almost done. I'm almost there. Yeah. And I can see it, and I just wanted to get it all quilted up. There's Mickey Mouse in here. There's pink camo. There's an old-fashioned lady with a shawl. There's letters. There's a few letters in there. Polka dots. It's turned out to be 91 inches by 84 inches or something like that. So a bit bigger than I had originally anticipated. But that's okay. It's got about half a dozen, actually about a dozen more little feathers to do. And then it is done. I'm very excited to finish this one. And I still have, probably 300 or 400 more pieces of fabric left, but I finished the pattern as I was doing with these, so I didn't seem to make it 150 inches, but it seemed ridiculous. This seemed like a good size. And if they don't use it on the bed, I'm hoping it's a great picnic blanket for them. I did a little little label for it, so it'll go on the front here. That's a little bit that's got on the back, so I'll put that for them. And they're expecting a little munchkin-y, within the next 3 weeks, but anyways, any day now, because munchkins come whenever the munchkins want to come, so whether you're ready or not. So it's very exciting for that, that's for sure. You just have to really make sure you set your time when you want to work on a project like this and get it done in a timely manner. You just got to make sure you just set an hour a day or 2 hours a day. Yesterday and this morning, I think it was just yesterday. Yesterday, I probably put in about 5 hours just because I knew I was so close. I only had a few more rows to go. got it on the long arm, so very happy about that. It's nice when you see finally a project that you worked so hard on come to this point, right? And that is not quite it yet. There we go. One more stitch, too. Oh, it's bouncing back up to the top. There we go. Figure it out. There we go. Cut the bobbin. It's very exciting. And I just chose this Canary Gold, I believe is what it's called. And I used a Goose Down by Dave Dennis. And I just love the pattern. Actually, it's the same pattern that's on my Canada Day quilt. I just did it two ways. I did it vertical and horizontal on my Canada Day quilt. I only did it just the one way on this one. So now is the chance to plan out the border. I meant to grab a pattern earlier, so this may take a moment or two. So I'm just going to put this. Oops. He did not clip. Oh no. Come on. So let's release the clamps down here. Roll this just a smidgy because other than that I don't have access to the full bottom of the border. Okay. So make sure I do. Okay. Okay, now back over here. Sorry. You can see all those pretty colors in the quilt. Just love it. Some people really, really love Scrappy quilts, and I wasn't quite sure if she's such a loving child, so I know she would have loved anything that I make her, because that's just the way she is. But I didn't, sometimes it doesn't quite go with your theme of your house or something to have this like multicolored contraption of a blanket. Okay, so stop. All right, it's finished its little feather, and we're going to do up the border. I picked a chain flower border pattern. It's got this little one medallion sort of thing going on in the corner, and then it's quite a little, like a clump of flowers as it's going across here. So it started. I'm just going to quick start it again. Perfect. Don't want to catch it up in the edge. So we'll show this one, and then I will end up finishing off the other ones because I'll have to physically take off the quilt and turn it to do these sections of the border. This is just going to do the bottom and then the top, and then I'll have to flip it. So now it's going to start into this little flower chain border pattern. Just got a couple of little leaves and like this little medallion here, but smaller. I could have used a feather. There's many varieties of feathers to do, considering the body of the quilt is a feather. But I want something a little bit different. And since I'm the captain of this quilt, I'm doing it. Now I could have boarded this out in many different ways. A couple of thin ones, a thick one, just one. Could have done none, just maybe done like a little black, like a frame just the quilted or the patchwork itself, right? I chose this little pop of color here and there, and these colors here and the ones on the other end are not in the quilt at all. Like, I mean, the colors are, but not these pieces. They're from a whole different selection. So I just went. This is the Scrappy, and then this was something new. Scrappy and new. So this will probably take a good, I don't know, probably 10 minutes to stitch up, and we can fast forward that part. No problem. I thought about changing the thread out, Keep it all the same. I mean, this is where the options are for you to play with. You could have a different one in the top and in the bottom for the bobbin thread. Just to know, but you would see possibly, because of the way they link, right? The threads link as they're sewing together in the machine underneath, that you would probably see some threads from either side to the other side, like the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top. It's always best to try and match your two together. I mean, you can always go crazy. Rules are meant to be bent. Not necessarily broken. So I think I figured out, remember I was talking about last week about the weighted blankets, and I think I figured out an idea. So I'm hoping maybe next week we can actually have it on the long arm to all the little pockets done with the little beads in it for the weighted blanket, and then we'll slip them in and stitch, and slip them in and stitch, and I think that's the plan I got in mind. I was just worried about a bead getting underneath the needle head. That's my main concern. So I'll do the second one. Alright, from here we'll just fast forward to the end, okay? But we'll film it, but we'll fast forward, so super fast. So I will disappear for a moment. Grab this thing. We have Walt stitching up here really fast, so we've increased it to about 200 or 300%, and we're just going to watch it really fast. So I'm just going to talk about it a little bit here. You'll see that when I'll put my hands next to the edge of the fabric, I just want to make sure that it's not looping over or folding it. Yeah, like right there, that's perfect. Just didn't want to make sure it's not looping over to make, you know, really an inconvenience to the quilt. You'd end up trimming that off, or you have to pick it and redo it. So, it's just filling in and doing all the hard work. I chose an interesting pattern that's more like a bunch of roses, I guess, as it goes from one batch to the other. So there's a space in between, and I'm going to fill that in later with some arches and some loops and stuff. So there will be a picture of the finished quilt at the end of this video or on the website. So feel free to check it out, of all the personal customization that went into it, as well as just the programming from the computer. It looks like it's working really hard. Stitching away. Happy little Walt. And you can't just walk away. I mean, as much as people say, oh, computer quilting is so easy, it's really not. It's a lot of tweaking and fiddling and making sure it fits in the right spot, and making sure, you know, you want to do the best you can, right? That's always the story, and the case is doing the best that you can. It was interesting that I noticed from this pattern setup, it was going from right to left, even though I had asked for it to do its sew sequence from left to right. That's just the way it wanted to go, and I couldn't fiddle with it any other way, so I'll have to look into that. Because normally it's better for machines to stitch from left to right than right to left. Love how it's going so fast. Now there's lots of scraps in this quilt. I probably said it earlier. Just want to make sure I said it again. There's over 1,550 pieces. And I've chosen I think it's called Canary Gold or Canary Yellow for the thread. I was going to do multiple threads, and then I thought, you know what, just stick with the one color. It matches the backing so precisely, so just leave it. Sometimes I overthink things. Imagine that, eh? It's almost finished. It's getting there. I know that's the hardest part, is watching it stitch up and wait till the end. It's almost there. I thought of maybe a variegated thread actually would have been really nice on this project, considering all the multicolors in the scrap and like in the Scrappy quilt itself. That to me would have made maybe certain other colors pop in certain spots where, you know, it needed a little pink or needed a little orange or needed a little yellow or something. But I tried my best to even out the color throughout the quilt as I was stitching it up. It's hard to with Scrappy quilts unless you have like a game plan in mind, like my second Scrappy quilt or my first Scrappy quilt. There was a design feature to it. I mean, this was two, but it was just putting the 2x3s together, one right after the other. All right. We ran out of bobbin. I'm surprised we ran out of bobbin. We have to fill some more up. Just a little bit. Now we have to, I believe it's restart. It's going to think of where it left off. We're going to pick a new spot over here. That's about right where it left off. And the quilt button. to the end of our border piece. And what I'm going to do is once I finish the stitching up, I'm going to roll it to the top, and then you get a chance to see all of it, because I have to still do the top part. So. But we will make sure to have pictures for when it's done for the website. Just doing the last little corner flower here. Perfect. That looks lovely. Alright, just going to do a single stitch here. Make sure to cut the bobbin. Alright, bring the bobbin threads up, give it a snip. Take it off the little grips. Alright, let's move this over here to its resting position. And then you can see the top of the quilt. The other house. Other way. Other way. Okay, so oops. Slowly crank with this one. And actually, let's take it so you can actually see it with the GoPro camera here. I'm just going to put you right in the middle. Hope you see some pretty colors. Okay. Remember, this is going to be 91 inches by about 84 or 86. I put several base stitches, lots of strips along. Lots of colors. That would be, like I said, make a great I Spy quilt. Alright. Okay, I'm doing myself lots of room. Put the lock on this. The lock on that. And that, my folks, is my 1,550 blah 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 pieces of 2x-inch scrappy quilt. 2x3-inch scrappy quilt. I'm going to program the rest of it and show you pretty pictures when it's all done. So thank you very much for sticking around for this Long Arm Wednesday project. And hopefully I'll encourage you to use some of your scraps and some are maybe recycle some of your clothes or family members' clothes. Make big squares. Doesn't have to be tiny ones. Go for it. Put a little sashing around it. Do a different design. Have fun. Recycle, reduce, reuse. Thanks everybody from the crew at the Long Arm Wednesdays. And we'll see you later. Don't forget to check out Weekend Projects. Working on a block set. Lots of fun stuff going on. Okay? Take care everybody. See you soon.